Well, the team is good, though. Well, good, in air quotes for now. Before we start the season sim, I do want to take a brief look at how the AI have setting up their lines heading into season 1. So, you know, if you're not interested in that, then do what you got to do. What do you think will get the most points in the league this season? That's why I want to check the lines, because I want to see what some of the combinations are, right? Because look at Anaheim. Bobby Ryan, Ryan Getzlaf, Teemu Solani is a top line. I mean, shit, even the second line of Fedorov, Koivu, Perry is sick. I'm not going to mention everybody, but even like Joffrey Lupul on the third line, right? That top line could be insane. Like Teemu Solani could lead the league in points. Defensively, Niedermeyer, Wisniewski, Vishnowski, Eminger, Brookbank, Aaron Ward. Goalies are Hiller and McElhaney. Scratches, Jason Blake, Richard Zednik. Anaheim's strong. Atlanta, Kozlov, Antropov, Finneganov, Evander Kane, Todd White, Nick Bergfors, MacArthur, Peverly Armstrong, Reisner, Little, Artukin. Ryan Little on the fourth line. You hate to see that. No wonder why they moved to Winnipeg. Defense, Enstrom, Kabina, Hainsey, Bogosian, Oduya, Schubert. Defense isn't that bad. Goalies, Pavlik, Hedberg. Not great. But they got Krog, Sterling, and Slater as scratches. Bruins have Savard, Bergeron, Wheeler. Lucic on the fourth line for the Bruins. That's an interesting way to go about it. Defense has Chara, Weidman, Seidenberg, Boychuk, Ferentz, and Hunwick. And goalies, obviously, Tim Thomas, Tuukka Rask. They have Scratch, Paille, Mark Stewart, and Shelole. Yeah. Buffalo, Vanek, Roy, Palmer. Ooh, Thomas Vanek could be stealthy for someone up there in scoring this year. They got a lot of grit in the bottom six, and there's Tyler Ennis. Who's on defense for them? Tallinder, Myers, Ludman, Rive, Butler, Monador. It's not too bad. Goalies, Ryan Miller, Patrick Lalliam, Brandis Caberlet, Merrick Malik. Calgary. See that? This is one of the teams I wanted to see. I'd like to think Iginla is going to be up there for scoring, but can you get enough out of Chris Higgins and Matt Stajan to propel Iginla for scoring? Because the rest of Calgary, like outside of Jerome Iginla, it's all middle sixers. So that is a rough spot for Iggy to be in. Like the defense isn't that bad, especially that left-hand side. But I don't know how good Iggy's going to do. You know? And they have like Nigel Dawes scratched, but it's not like he would be that difference maker for Iggy. The Ray Whitney, Eric Stahl combination for Carolina could be fantastic for them. I'm not sure how Eric Stahl is going to sim, but Gold Schneip makes me think he's going to be insane. Defensively, Pitkin and Zubov, Gleason, Pothier, Harrison, McBain, Cam Wharton, goal. Honestly, though, then you get to Chicago. Ooh. I thought Patrick Kane, but he's on the second line with Versteeg and Boland. So maybe Kane won't be up there. Hossa could be insane, though. Shout out to Deke Slayer in his intro song. I want to listen to it right now. But let's see. Chicago have on defense here. Keith Seabrook, Campbell, Sopel, Janssen, Boynton. Very, very good. Antiniemi in goal. I mean, again, Chicago could easily repeat. Man, they got Nick Hjalmarsson as a scratch. Colorado, Duchesne, Stashny, Hayduk. Not bad. Probably won't lead the league or anything like that. Shout out to 44 months of Max. Max, thank you very much for the resub. Welcome back.
He's been asked to leave the ball
game for
ruining a good piece of pizza.
I could go for an old sub right about now. God, they have Matt Hendricks on their second line. Rough times in Colorado. Lyles Shatton. Hey, they called up Kevin Shattenkirk. Put him on the top pair with John Michael Lyles. That's cool to see Shattenkirk getting a chance. Anderson and Budai. Columbus. There's a stealthy combination of Rick Nash and Jaromir Jagr. That's a hell of a free agent signing for the Blue Jackets. Bringing Jaromir Jagr back to North America. Wow. That could be crazy. That could be crazy. Is there enough puck to go around for the Blue Jackets in those two? Any other crazy combos? Dallas. Dallas is just like super well-rounded. I don't think like Brad Richards or anybody on the top line will do good enough to be like a top scorer. But Dallas is just super, super well-rounded. I mean, that left wing side's hilarious. Defense, Scratch and Robodog, Grossman, Niskin. And Dallas should be good in the sim. I mean, they have Marty Turco and Kari Lettinen. They should be pretty damn good. But then there's Detroit. Yes. So that's what I wanted to know especially. Would they play Zetterberg and Datsuk together? The answer is yes. How well are they going to play this season? They could be unstoppable. They could be unstoppable together. And then like Lidstrom and Rafalski together is just crazy. So yeah, the Red Wings should be unbelievable this year. Edmonton, Hemsky and Penner should be a good combination with Gagne in the middle, but I don't think you're going to see anybody up there for this like crazy scoring pace. I would be a little bit surprised. Defense, I got Surrey, Gilbert, Whitney, Schmid, Johnson, Shrudwick. Okay. Goalies, Hobby Bull, and Delorier. Who do the Panthers have going? Booth, Weiss, and Horton's a good line. It won't be way up there, though, for scoring. God, they have Jeff Taff in their lineup. No disrespect to Jeff Taff, but, you know. And in goal, Thomas Faucoon. Bits of scratches. Kings have Kopitar, Brown, and Ryan Smith. Again, not bad. I don't know if it'll be top tier. Wayne Simmons has made the team, but he's on the fourth line behind Brad Richardson. That's rough. Scuderi, Dowdy, Johnson, Harold, O'Donnell, Green. And Jonathan Quick in goal, of course. Minnesota. Brunette, Koivu, Havlat. Good line. Don't think it'll be way up there. Barker, Zidlichky, Brent Burns, Nick Schultz. Backstrom in goal. Owen Nolan is a healthy scratch. Surprised he's not in the lineup over Chuck Obasu. Montreal. Peter Forsberg is a free agent signing with Plekanec and Gianna. I don't know how good that'll do. You got two guys with gold third eye. Can Gianna put up the goals to make it, the most of it is the question. Markov, Hammerlick, Spacek, Georges, Bergeron, Mara. Locke and Price, of course, in goal. They do have a healthy Max Pacioretty as a scratch. Hal Gill as well. So some interesting lineup situations for Montreal. Nashville, Erat, Arnott, Sullivan. Solid. Don't think it'll be too crazy. God, the amount of versus mode games I played with this team is crazy, by the way. I loved using Nashville in versus mode around this time. Mainly because of that defense. Outstanding. And Pekka Rinne in goal. Wow, they have Radulov scratch. No wonder why he left for Russia. You don't have room in that lineup for Alex Radulov, really. Jared Smithson and Mike Santorelli are that important. Well, one of my favorites for scoring leader just tumbled down the rankings a little bit. Parise, Zajac, Langenbrunner's good. Elias, Ralston, Zubris. Ilya Kovalchuk is on the third line with Rob Niedermeyer and David Clarkson. Bold strategy, Cotton. Holy hell. Okay, third line Kovalchuk. Top pair defenseman, Corey Murphy. What the hell is going on in New Jersey? What the hell? Islanders, Molson, Tavares, Bailey. That should be good. Probably not top tier, though. Islanders don't look that bad because they're playing a lot of their younger guys. Defense, Stripe, Martina. Defense is okay. And obviously in goal, Rolison, Biron. They'll probably have... Wow, they actually sent down DiPietro. Rangers, Prosper, Jokin, and Gaborik. I mean, Gaborik could go off. Crossbow and Jokinen are both, really solid at passing the puck. Samarian Gaborik could have a hell of a season. Defense, Stahl, Roosevelt, Redden, Girardi, Delzato, Gilroy. Obviously, Hank in goal. Who do we got in Ottawa? I mean, Spezza and Alfie could do super, super well. Surprised they didn't find a way to get Kovalev on that top line. Defense, Volchenkov, Carlson. Eric Carlson's going to be insane this season. Even at 19. McLaren and Elliott. I mean, they're going to have an easier time developing him than we are developing Hedman. Flyers, Gagne, Giroux, Briere, Naslin, Richards, Carter. I mean, that top six is gross. That top six is gross for Philly. And Pronger, Timonen on defense. Dude, Philly's got to be one of the favorites out of the East. They got to be. Coyotes. I don't think we'll be seeing anybody up there for high-end scoring from the Coyotes, With respect to Matt Lombardi. Don't think we'll be seeing it. I do got Brizgalov in goal, but that's rough. Pittsburgh, I mean, obviously Malkin and Crosby could easily be up there for points and probably will be. Guerin's got make it snappy, so it's not too bad. On Charlatang on defense. Yeah, I mean, Pittsburgh, especially their power play, should be insane. Pascal Dupuis is a scratch. Sharks. That top line is unreal. Heatley, Thornton, Pavelski. If the Hart Trophy winner doesn't come from that top line, not even just leading scorer, we're talking MVP. If that doesn't come from that top line, I'd be shocked. That's outstanding. Classic Boyle, Blake, Huskins, Backman, Demers. Jason Demers made the Sharks. Bakov in goal. Got Dougie Murray as a scratch. Blues have Correa, Backus, and Boyle. Honestly, I mean, the Blues top six is really good. Blues top six is really good. They could have a great season. Don't know if they can quite compete with some of the other players and combos that we've seen, but Blues should be pretty good this year. Let's see. Toronto. Again, we're not using Toronto this time. There is a chance I am going to have to do a second franchise here with the Maple Leafs because holy shit, is that team dreadful. Oh my God. Poor Steve Dangle, huh? Whew. Wow. I mean, again, they got some pieces on left side defense, but damn. Vancouver. Ooh, the Sedins with Kessler. There are quite a few teams that have some very solid high-end talent combinations you can definitely look at to say they are probably going to simulate very, very well. Let's see, and then Washington, last but not least. Ovechkin, Backstrom, and Semin. I changed my mind about who the top scorer is going to be. Holy, that line is going to destroy. We're in a division with that line. We're going to get murdered. We are going to get absolutely murdered. Christ, Backstrom aside, that's fucking Putin's delight for that top line. Defense, Pody, and we know that Green's going to do crazy this season. They have John Carlson making their team as well. Caps are going to be gross. They are going to be so good. Yeah, I mean, again, I think our team is decent, but there's some killers out there. So I am just going to be happy with any form of success that we have. We'll sim to December. We'll take a look at how the boys are doing, and we'll take it from there. We actually beat Washington in our first meeting against them. Go figure. So Ooh, I forgot to change the AHL lines. Essentially just the goalies. There we go. There's my opportunity. Quick and easy. So, best lines. Only thing we need to do is make sure that it is Tokarski and Antti Ranta in goal. I don't think we had anybody else that we overly cared about. Yeah, with respect to Matt Lashoff, I'm not going to take the time. Alex Kaloran's at least in the lineup. Let's bump him up at least into the top 6. So, well, we know we're not 1-4 because it glitched out. Norfolk not doing particularly well. Lightning, 4-3 start. That's not too bad. That's not too bad. Not worried about Shimmick getting back in the lineup. Shimmick, whatever it might be. But yeah, we'll see what we can do. Matt Walker gets hurt with a broken nose. Let's see. Well, it's a very close division right now. We were in last. I'd be surprised if we can out-tank the Thrashers, by the way. I'd be very surprised. Let's see. Walker's healthy. I'm not worried about him. 6-9-1. Player conversation. Mr. Steve Downey. Does not become a grinder. Score goals this year, then, buddy. Think you can be a power forward? I need to see goals. Curtis Foster stays as an offensive defenseman. Okay. I'll believe you. Martin St. Louis does not add another wing spot. That's a shame. These guys are willing to listen, but not willing to change. Vinny Lecavalier at least learns how to play left wing. That'll be helpful for us for chemistry purposes in the future, perhaps. Especially with Steven Stamkos moving up the center. Another conversation with Steve Downey. Also doesn't change position type. Son of a bitch, Steve. Son of a bitch. Really? Let's see. Nate Thompson learns how to play left wing. That's good. That is good. Ryan Malone doesn't learn how to change position. Alex Tanguay learns how to play right wing. That's good. In case we need you to switch. I just want that versatility to try and get the best line chemistry we can. Stefan Veilleux learns how to play a right wing. Yeah, we might be able to get a little bit more chemistry now within the bottom 6. That's my ultimate goal of this. Curtis Foster can now play left D. Not what we need you to. We have nothing but left defensemen, it feels like. Matt Walker also learns how to play left D. Ryan Malone might end up being a run killer with this contract and his lack of willingness to do anything. You're not wrong. I'm hoping that's not the case, but you're not wrong. We'll see how it plays out. I won't give up on him yet. Worst case, we could do the ever so rare, at least on this channel, contract buyouts. All right, there we go. So let us double check our lines. At the moment, we might be able to squeeze a little bit of extra chemistry out of the team. So again, the top 6 still is what it is. Malone on the left, Cavalier. But again, in theory, our top line in the future can be Lecavalier, Stamkos, and St. Louis. Which, I mean, that could be our top line now, in fairness. We just don't have somebody that can play center. Let's see. So Veilleux can play the right. Thompson, center left wing. All can play the right. So we'll swap Craig over. There we go. Even if it's only an extra +1, we'll take it, you know? So we can go Craig, Thompson, Veilleux, Fedoruk, Konopka, and Hall. And then defensively, Oland on the right. Lundin can't play the other side. We'll keep Mazzaros and Ranger. That's fine. Okay. All right. Well, we're not exactly crushing it so far this season. The Caps, by the way, I mean, we'll talk about it more on December 1st, but they are fourth in the division right now, which is kind of crazy that they are struggling that much. Again, that top line should be crushing it. It's the Atlanta Thrashers leading this division right now. Might be some typical EA nonsense here. Even Vancouver wasn't doing too well. All right, December 1st, 11, 13, and 1. Let's take a look at how we are doing here. First and foremost, the standings. We are currently third in the division. 4 points back of the Panthers, but you can see how close this division is. But technically, it is Washington at the bottom. Atlanta's still on the best point pace. The Northeast Division. Ottawa's to lose right now. Montreal's up there. The Leafs are terrible. 5 wins in 23 games. Absolutely atrocious for Toronto. And then the Atlantic Division. Rangers on top. Then you got the Devils. Flyers aren't too far out of it, but I'm surprised to see them in 5th. Central Division, you got the Blues, the Hawks, then Nashville and Columbus really trailing behind. Pacific Division, Sharks running away with it, the Ducks, Oilers falling behind. I'm surprised the Ducks are worse than the Oilers, though. But that top line, that's crazy. And Northwest Division, Minnesota and everybody else is a bit further back. So, I mean, right now, top team in the league is San Jose. But I feel like you got some surprising teams up there. Worst team in the league, you do have Toronto. And then Washington is the second worst team in the league with that top line. That's insane. San Jose with the best offense right now. Nobody else even comes close. Worst offense in the league is Toronto, then Nashville, Vancouver, struggling to put the puck in the net. Lowest goals against average, you got the Sharks, Hawks up there. The worst is, okay, we found Washington's Achilles heel. They can't stop a puck right now. Offense is good. They can't stop a puck. Sharks have a 27% power play. Canucks on 9%. And then PK, we got the worst PK in the league. Not ideal. St. Louis has a great penalty kill. That doesn't surprise me. Tanguay right now is our top point getter, which is not great. That's not great. I got some complaints with how this is looking. I don't want to be too harsh about it, but Stamkos and Tanguay are outperforming LeCavalier and Saint Louis. That is a bit disappointing. Stefan Veilleu's only 3 points behind Steve Downey. That's disappointing. I'm not surprised we had the worst penalty kill when we got a lot of people taking penalties as well with the physical nature of the team. Defensively, Hedman has just 7 points so far this season. Not great. Mazzaros is our leading point getter on the blue line. And in goal, Mike Smith. Oh my God. Antero Nidimaki's barely played, and he has been tragic when he has. Auto rotates on, by the way, so I don't know why Smith has played 25 games. Yeah, other teams are fine. Yeah, we got some lineup issues. It is, though, the combination of Jágr and Nash leading the way. Jágr and Nash. You got Marleau and Thornton up there. Ovechkin is up there. Of course, again, we were on medium scoring, medium shots. But Nash, 23 goals and 30. I mean, in theory, these guys are on pace for a similar, a similar scoring pace that wasn't all that unrealistic, I mean, granted, 2010, it was over 100 points, but then 2015 was Jamie Benn with 87. So we'll see where this lands. But yeah, some of the names we expected to see up there for goal scorers are up there. Defensively, it's Lidstrom, Zidlichki, Boyle, Doughty is up there for goals. Mike Green is not performing at the level that I thought Mike Green would be performing to. The winningest goalie right now is Chris Mason. The shutout leader with 5 is Jimmy Howard. 5 shutouts in 18 games. Top goalies, Johan Hedberg, Evgeny Nabokov, Henrik Lundqvist. See if medium is the scoring setting that we want to be on. But yeah, we do have some issues here. I mean, I don't want to split up Tanguay from Stamkos. If we can get Stamkos to develop, we can get him to develop, but I thought that top line would be doing just a little bit better. A little bit. But I think our team pretty much is our team. You gotta kind of accept them for what they are. So let's keep it going here. Actually, really quickly, activity feed. Still no trades, no recent signings either. In fairness, there might have been a trade or two that we might have missed, but we also do have the blockbuster trade announcement notification set to on, so you'd like to think if anything crazy happens, the game would actually tell me. Paul Shashura gets hurt. Let's take a look at that draft class for the first time, by the way. So top of the board, Tyler Seguin, a generated dude named McGillis, but then Taylor Hall, Vladimir Tarasenko, Mark Stone, Artemi Panarin, another generated dude in Vorobev, and Zaitsev, and Tierney. I couldn't stop them from generating, but then Jeff Skinner, Cam Fowler, Ryan Johansson, Nino Niederreiter, Justin Falk, more generated dudes, Jaden Schwartz, Brendan Gallagher, Tyler Toffoli. Who's the top projected goalie? Peter Mrazek and Philip Grubauer. Maybe not the year to take a goalie. Just going to throw that out there. I don't know if we're taking a goalie this year. But top defensemen, guys like Klingberg, Gudas are in this draft. Okay. We will keep that in mind. Taylor or Tyler? It's going to be the question once again for this draft. Yeah, it's a decent start to this month. Alex Kaloran gets hurt down in Norfolk. Again, I don't really know whether or not to expect this team to be able to be a playoff team or what we're dealing with. Excuse me. All right, let's get old Fritzy out of there. Okay, let's go best lines in the AHL. It's looking like a fucking disaster right now. Tokarski, let's get Ronta in there. Ronta hasn't improved at all so far this season. All right, James Wright's healthy. I'm not too worried about you. 16, 17, and 2. Dead last in our division as of January 1st, 2010. Be nice if you could change the calendar, but I get why the game doesn't let you do it. No trades, no signings. Roster just kind of is what it is. Tanguay is still our leading scorer at just 30 points. We're kind of stuck then, aren't we? are a little bit stuck. But that top line is just not... Oops, what the hell happened there? And this top line just is not producing at the level it needs to be able to. But again, I think we're just kind of stuck for now. Edmund went up a point at least. Yeah. I think we have lowered expectations for the rest of the year. Probably sell what we can around the deadline. But yeah, this is turning into it is what it is type season. Which isn't totally off for the way this team's constructed and what we've inherited. But yeah, we're definitely not getting like any kind of crazy point totals from the star players that we were hoping for. We're on a good little run here, though. Funny enough, we're second in our division. You got to be kidding me. And now we're fifth in our division. Nobody wants to win the Southeast. That is what I'm learning. Nobody wants to win the Southeast. Stefan Bayou's healthy. Blame Warrior, right? 23, 21, and 3. Technically last in our division. Washington has finally figured it out this season. That's good news for them. Still no other crazy moves. Tanguay now at 40 points. Just 10-point month, and that's enough to maintain the lead on this team. But you do have Stamkos up to an 85. Stammer's now listed as a top-line player. Malone is not. We're going to make a change here. The LeCavalier, Stamkos, San Luis experience is live. I do still want to play people within their proper position if possible. So it might mean a bump up for the likes of Adam Hall. Otherwise, it's Nate Thompson. So Varg on the 62 months. Welcome back, my man. How are you?
Highly unnecessary. That with the Patriots jacket.
Regardless,
he's been asked to leave the ball game for ruining a good piece of pizza.
I guess Malone, Thompson, Tanguay, Craig, Hall, and Downey, Fedoruk, Konopka, Vayu. Worth a shot. But the good thing is the top line is in order. That's what we needed. Cavalier, Stamkos, MSL. All right. We'll see. We'll give the boys a month here. We're 26th in the league in goals per game. Trade for a second line center. I could. I just don't know if this team is worth investing in, you know? We could go for a second line center, but it is kind of a rough time to invest in this team. Like if we look at the standings, we're 11 points back of the division. In conference, we're 3 points out of a playoff spot right now. If we actually look at point percentage, we're in the playoffs. The question is, like, do I think the team is good enough to make it? Or if we make it, like, are we good enough to win it? I'm going to take a look. Still going to look at trade blocks. Because it's easier. Get the signing rights to Jake Gardner. I actually don't totally hate that. Kyle Palmieri. Ron Hainsey, Johnny Oduya, not quite what we have in mind. Bruins are shipping out Michael Ryder, at least trying to. Buffalo, Paul Byron. Frank, how are you, by the way? Marcus Kruger. Don't mention the Hawks. They'll yell at you. Sammy Paulson. Well, so far, Sammy Paulson's our best option at center. Yari Lehtinen doesn't really help our issue, nor did Radek Bonk. You got Gus Nyquist, Tomas Tatar. Florida trying to move on from Jeff Taff. Justin Williams isn't really what we're looking for. Or is it Litchke, Sikora, Brunette, Hammerlick, David Desharnais? Not really what we're looking for. Signing rights to Roman Josi. God, Ryan Ellis as well. Matthias Ekholm. God damn it, Nashville. How didn't you win a Stanley Cup? No trades found for Josi. Adam Henrique. It's interesting to see all the prospects now, you know? Rangers with Kreider, Stepan. Again, we're not necessarily looking for prospect. Chris Kelly. I mean, it worked for the Bruins. What about Chris Kelly? Mike Smith, a third and a fourth. A second, a third, and Lundin. Foster, a fourth and a sixth. It's a lot to give up. It is a lot to give up. I mean, we definitely take a hit on defense to try and improve offensively. I don't know if Kelly is quite what we need. Pittsburgh, I mean, Bortuzzo, Tommy Wingles. Like, the best top six center that we could get right now is Chris Kelly. And I like Chris Kelly a lot. But if we're looking for, like, a big amount of offensive play driving out of Chris Kelly, I don't think we're going to get it. So I think we can move forward here, see how the boys do, and in a little over a month's time, if we are still in dead last in our division, we likely look at selling off whatever pieces we can and trying to stock up for the draft. And then Curtis Foster gets hurt. So Shimmick gets hurt. Damn. Probably try the best to win the lottery. Yeah. And Sagan, Hall. I mean, there are some good players available. Mixed results against the Thrashers. Foster is healthy. Obviously, like, Nate Thompson isn't the ideal player to have at the second line center spot, but we needed to keep LeCavalier and Stamkos on that top line, you know? Just makes too much sense at that stage. Both top liners. 29, 27, and 5 the day before the deadline. No other trades have happened. Standings wise, we are 4th in the division. Where are we in the Eastern Conference? Currently in a playoff spot, but barely. And technically, it's on point percentage. And again, we are barely ahead. We're actually technically not even ahead of the Panthers. And we're 1 point ahead of Ottawa. Islanders are right there. So we can scratch and claw for the playoffs. Oh my God, Toronto's so bad. We can scratch and claw for the playoffs, or there is a realistic chance we could have, at the very least, Florida, Ottawa, Islanders, Thrashers jump us, if not Philly and Boston, who are shockingly struggling. So we can scratch and claw to make the playoffs, or we sell off and hope to make it to the lottery. I think we have to sell off. Tanguay had 8 points last month. He's still our leading scorer. Looks like LeCavalier and San Luis have woken up, though, with Stamkos next to them. But yeah, I think the writing's on the wall, right? it makes sense to strip away whatever pieces we can from this team and not try to force the issue here. So that will be our approach. Let's do it. Ooh, didn't want to do that. It's trade deadline. Let's see who's available. Tim Thomas, Danny Briere, Tanguay. I mean, he is on an expiring deal. Let's see. So in terms of goalies, Mike Smith. If there's a market for Mike Smith, we should try to move him. I mean, he's not insane. There is a market. Todd White in a third. Johnny Oduya in a third. Ron Hainsey in a sixth. Second round pick and Chris Neal from Ottawa. Colin in a third. 2/3 and Michael Neuwirth from Washington. Carl Alsner in 2/3. Marcus Johansson and Michael Neuwirth. I mean, that second round pick could be anything. It could even be Marcus Johansson. And then we get a goalie and Michael Neuwirth. I mean, the only reason to take Todd White would be to flip him. Second round pick and Chris Neal. I mean, God, we got plenty of grit in the fourth line. So it's either a second round pick from Ottawa or Marcus Johansson. I'm leaning towards Marcus Johansson just for that potential. Let's look at him really quickly. So Mojo, 73 overall at 19. That's not bad. And then Neuwirth. Ooh, Neuwirth is NHL caliber. And has been absolutely tearing it up in Hershey. Mike Smith for Marcus Johansson and Michael Neuwirth. I like it. We'll see you later, Smith. We'll see you later. I mean, they got rid of him in real life. Thomas Tatar just got dealt. Anything for Nidimaki? A fifth in Zharkov. Eric Jelena and Zharkov. A fourth in Fraser McLaren. For Tommy Wingles and Alex Stalock. Get another goalie. Get Tommy Wingles. A fourth could be anything. It could even be Tommy Wingles. Let me see what Tommy Wingles looks like. Tommy Wingles. The fourth rounder might be better. It might be better. Antero Nidimaki. We will take a fourth rounder and Fraser McLaren from the Sharks. So goalies for the rest of the year, it's going to be Neuwirth and Tokarski. Unless something changes. Apparently we could flip Ronta, but when Svatos, I just want to move him. Yeah, no draft picks. Can I flip Dustin Tokarski? No. All right, defensively. Olin's got 7 years left. He's not going anywhere. But Curtis Foster only has a year left. What can we get for Curtis Foster? A second, a third, and Paul Byron. 2 seconds from Chicago. Ben Smith. Now, obviously, it's Chicago. Corey Crawford. A second, and Rob Klinkhammer. Tough to say no to that. Second, a third, and Peters. King and Zatkov. Slava Voinov can fuck off. Martinez in a third. A second, third, and White. Craig Smith, a second and a third. Ekholm, Jeffrey on Lindback. 2-3, Vasunov. Henrique and Palmieri. Ooh, Adam Henrique. Second, a third, and Hagelin. Second, and Chris Neal. 2 seconds, and Eric Tangradi from Pittsburgh. 2 seconds from the Sharks. So 2 second-round picks from a contender. Could go for Corey Crawford to be the goalie of this team. It's not a terrible idea. Crawford is second and Klinkhammer. You know, we get a goalie. We do get I think that's the deal. I think it is. Curtis Foster's going to Chicago for Corey Crawford, a second, and Rob Klinkhammer. Done deal. Oland and Mazzaros each have time. Paul Ranger's deal is up. a third in Paul Byron, third in Joachim Anderson, a second from Nashville and Blake Jeffrey-on. High 9, Craig Smith. Third in Hagelin. That second round pick's looking pretty good. Pittsburgh offering a second. So either Blake Jeffrey-on or Eric Tangradi. Would go for Jeffrey-on. You got a deal for Paul Ranger. Second round pick and Blake Jeffrey-on. Paul Ranger is off to Nashville. So we continue to strip it down. What about Mike Lundin? Schubert, Armstrong, Krog, Byron, TJ Brennan, and Luke Adam. I love that. Mike Weber. Obviously, we're trying to get solid deal here. Gregory Campbell. Sean Bergenheim. Carl Hagelin. Chris Neal. Ottawa is desperate to get rid of Chris Neal. I mean, there's a couple of interesting trades, but they're all just kind of lateral moves. If we were to deal Matthias Oland, Usalius, second and a third, Martinez and a third. I kind of want to respect the fact that Oland has a 7-year deal, though, at least for a little bit. Same with Mazzaros. Is Mark Barberio worth anything? 6th rounder. We might as well just try to develop him, even for a 5th rounder. Ty Wishart, are you worth anything? No. So yeah, I think we're going to respect Oland and Mazzaros. Lundin, it was just lateral movement, although you could argue we're not going to keep him. Let's take one more look. Yeah, it's pretty much all just lateral movement. 6th round pick, David Lifton. I mean, we could take the 6th rounder, but at that point, we might as well just keep Lundin as the in-house rental. Campbell, Taff. I mean, Lundin for Carl Hagelin isn't the worst. We'll pick up Carl Hagelin from the Rangers. We'll get the speedster. So yeah, God knows what the defense is going to look like for the rest of the season. Right wing side, Marty's going nowhere. Steve Downey's contract is up. We got Richard Panik signing rights. Adam Hall. Can we get anything for Adam Hall as a 4th liner? Byron, Brennan Adam, Zach Cassian. Just a bunch of lateral moves in terms of potentials, so we might as well just keep him. What about Bochenski? We're not even playing the guy. I mean, I'll take TJ Brennan. Don't tempt me with a good time. TJ Brennan, welcome. Very happy to have you here. If we were to flip Steve Downey, 2 seconds in Paul Byron, second, a third in Svatos, 2 seconds, Joachim Anderson, Gustav Nyquist in a third. I mean, dude, it's a medium 6 guy for a medium 9. Much higher ceiling on Gus Nyquist. Second and a third. Martinez and a third. Martinez wouldn't be too bad either to get a defenseman into the system. I mean, Martinez, Gustav Nyquist. Voinov can fuck off. Braden Shen. Second, a third, and Smith. Ekholm. Ooh, Ekholm, Smith, and a 5th. That's not too bad. 2 seconds, Vasunov. Second, third, and Cone. Boschman. 2 seconds. Or Nyquist in a third, Martinez a third, and Clifford. I think we need another defenseman in the system. What does Martinez look like? We could send Steve Downey out west. Martinez, 78 at 22. He's almost ready. And then Kyle Clifford. Honestly, Kyle Clifford's a 75 at 19 years old. Steve Downey, I don't trust that you're actually going to be a good power forward and you don't want to switch player types. Have fun in Los Angeles. We're cashing out high. On the high end, Steve Downey is gone. Richard Panik could stay. Left wing side, Malone's got the no movement clause. Tanguay has to go. He's on an expiring deal. Second, a third, and Anderson. Gus Nyquist and Landon Ferraro. 2, 3, and Nolan. Shen, King, and Berube. So Nyquist and Ferraro. Technically, Dwight King is a little bit better. Smith second and third. Ekholm, Smith, and Lindback. Technically, Ekholm, Smith, and Lindback's not bad at all. And that would continue to help us try to get a few more defensemen. Let's go for that deal from Nashville. Matthias Ekholm, Craig Smith, Anders Lindback for Alex Tanguay. Done deal there. I mean, Smith's not that bad. We still have Kaloran. Teddy Purcell. Can we get anything for you, or should we just keep you? 4th rounder, Matt Hendricks. 4th rounder's about the best we're getting. We could play Teddy Purcell for the rest of the year. He's still listed as a depth forward. He's doing very well in the AHL. Maybe we give Teddy Purcell a chance. And then centers, Stammer's going nowhere. LeCavalier's going nowhere. Anything for Nate Thompson? 4th round pick. I mean, Marcus Foligno is a medium 9 for a medium bottom 6. 3rd rounder, Brandon Bolig. That's also not that bad. 3rd rounder and Bolig is pretty good. 3rd rounder and Patulny. I didn't think we'd get a good deal for Nate Thompson, but I think we did. I did Nate Thompson for a 3rd and Brandon Bolig. It is a 3rd from Chicago. Let's go for Marcus Foligno and Alex Biega. We're just continuing to strip apart any piece from this team that we can. But again, we added Corey Crawford and Michael Neuwirth in goal now. It's kind of nuts. Anders Lindback here now. He's not even signed. Kind of intrigued to see if Ranta develops at all, because again, we can't really get anything for him. Like Marek Svatos, and then I tried to flip Svatos, but clearly, like, they're worth the same. So again, Oland goes nowhere. I mean, Ekholm still looking good. Maybe a tad bit concerning. Zaros goes nowhere. Barbario, Brennan. Guys like Wishart weren't worth much. Alex Biega got kind of shafted a little bit. Not getting much for him. So right wing side. All pairs. So we could technically use another right wing. Left wing side. It's fine for the rest of the year. And then center. We'll kind of see what's up. Okay. Well, I mean, we've done pretty well for ourselves. Bunch of extra draft picks. Some prospects into the mix. I think the only thing left to do, we don't have much time to do it. Yeah, we look for players on opposing teams' blocks. We don't need Caberlet. We don't need Beauchemin. Oh, my God. Oh, it's inverted. Well, gonna miss out on time there. It was really weird how it just inverted that. Oh, my God. What are we doing? What are we doing? Kevin Connaughton. Sammy Vatanen. What would they want for Sammy Vatanen? Marcus Johansson, a 3rd and a 4th. 3rd and a 4th isn't bad. Honestly, with the draft picks we just picked up, let's get the signing rights to Sammy Vatanen. Nobody crazy from Atlanta. Blake Wheeler? What would it cost to get Blake Wheeler? 1st round pick, Ekholm and Terrell. Problem is, we really don't have space for Blake Wheeler right now because of Marty. And Wheeler's already a 2nd liner, probably soon to become a 1st liner, although maybe not. He might be the fit on that 2nd line. He might be that fit. Blake Wheeler, welcome to Tampa. I am going to riskily give up a future first-round pick, but I think it could be worth it. I think you have Blake Wheeler behind Marty St. Louis in the top 6. You're laughing. All the way to the bank. Can we still get Gustav Nyquist? Martinez a third and a fourth. Well, we ended up wheeling and dealing more than I thought I would. And I felt kind of bad for taking some of these prospects away from some of these teams. However, once I saw how crazy the AI were going with trades of their own on the ticker, I knew it's like, all right, gloves are off. Let's just go do what we got to do. All right, we are done for the day. A wild, wild trade deadline. A wild trade deadline indeed. Now, here's the thing that I think I'm just realizing. I gave up my own first-round pick in that deal, didn't I? To get Blake Wheeler. I got confused by the years. I'm pretty sure I just gave up my own first-round pick to get that deal. Oh, yeah. So we got to hope Blake Wheeler can push us towards the playoffs. Because Boston now has our first-round pick, who they may even be able to use. To get Tyler Seguin. I panicked in the final hour. At the very least, we did get Sammy Vatanen. We did get Blake Wheeler. Gave up Ekholm and Dana Terrell. Don't tell Fox. Leafs got a couple of picks for Francois Beauchemin. Todd White went to the Rangers. Draft picks, a couple other pieces involved. We got Marcus Foligno for Nate Thompson. Andy Brunette went for a second and Oscar Mahler. So, I mean, we did use Alex Tanguay to help get Blake Wheeler. Slava Voynov for Marcus Naslund. Of course, the Steve Downey trade. Second round pick involved in a deal for Radek Bonk. I hate when it says and others. Just show the fucking information. Second round pick for a third and Gregory Campbell. Hell of a lot of trades went through, man. Good Lord. Ryan Ellis and Jonathan Blum for Christian Huselius. Oh, my God. Second rounder and Chris Neal for a second rounder and Freddie Mayer. Of course, we traded Paul Ranger. Finnegan for Henrique and Palmieri. So Henrique and Palmieri on their way to Atlanta. Nick Palmieri, that is. Ron Hainsey for a second plus. Yuri Lettinen goes to Washington for Dmitry Orlov and Carl Alsner. Comrie in a fourth for a second plus. Justin Schultz on the move. Jake Gardner acquired by the Bruins for Andrew Ferentz. Tatar and Brendan Smith go to Carolina. Jake Muzzin signing rights to Columbus. Derek Stepan, Cam Talbot, Dale Weiss to Minnesota. It's a wild, wild deadline. But the story is that I traded the wrong pick. Help me, Blake Wheeler. You're my only hope to save me from sheer embarrassment.